Hello there.
Morning.
Morning,
Yeah.
everyone. Good work. Loving
Yeah, I
the
saw you guys on. I saw you guys on Luca's YouTube.
oh yeah. You
So I thought
watching
I
this?
better put a hat on.
Yeah, mandatory dress code for the Christmas specials.
We were out in Manchester Andale yesterday, looking, and looked around for a Christmas jumper for me because my wife she's got one, but I've not got one.
Okay.
Just couldn't find one. So I'm gonna have to wait till Christmas Boxing Day sale maybe. Prepare
Wow.
for next year.
Yeah. I went out a couple of years ago and just bought the first thing I could find. Which is like,
Yeah, last for years, won't it?
yeah, I have no vested interest in this whatsoever. I'm just getting hold of it.
Yeah, I've been
Nasty.
resisting. I'm not been taking much interest, but this year I thought I want to buy one, and then I just couldn't find one. Just mm.
Um, and you seem to alternate between ears and a hat. Paul, you've got a
Yes,
So
selection.
you spotted
Paul's
them.
hot enough.
Uh,
Oh wow! Look, jump throw some on this side.
Antlers.
yeah, yeah, that's about as much as we can put on. 'Cause it's about 20 odd degrees here, so it's a bit warm.
Yeah, you're
Oh
definitely.
wow!
Our weather is, it's just wet and it's quite mild, but it's, yeah, soggy,
We've
blowy.
had um, we've had some storms for the last couple of days. In fact, today is really windy as well.
Yeah, yesterday, last night
Yes,
was very
yesterday I was
windy.
coming back from Manchester and it was just lashing. The rain was just lashing down and the visibility was so poor.
Mm. That's no fun driving in the rain.
No,
Right.
no. Because my son came back from Prague yesterday, so I picked him up from the airport as well.
Okay, yeah,
So made that into a Arndale, Manchester Arndale Centre shopping and airport pickup.
nice.
Yeah.
What? Where's he studying? Sorry, did you say?
No, he's actually working over in Prague.
Oh, in Prague.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
lucky
then
that.
when he landed, he said, "Have you heard the news?" He said, "There's been a mass shooting in Prague.
Yeah.
15 people died from shooting at the university,
Ugh.
including the person who was the shooter."
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm not followed up since then, but it's not it was completely unexpected, and it was in the near the city center area, not far off from the tourist area.
Wow. I did. Yeah, I just heard about it last night.
Yeah.
Um, Danny Rebar, who is one of the leads of the Project Catalyst team at
Hmm.
IOG, he's originally from the Czech Republic, so he tweeted about it.
Oh,
Um,
right.
just saying he was gutted. But yeah, that was the only bit I heard, and then I went to bed. But yeah, I haven't seen any news on it today. But that's, yeah, just awful. Sign of
Mm.
the times, I guess.
Seems to
But
happen this time of the year, doesn't it?
yeah, I guess the festive season, highlights the plight of the lonely, I guess, and
Yeah.
leads to nasty acts like this. Um,
I like your background.
yeah, this is
Is that electronic? Is that
yes, it's not my real background.
I was going to say it's one you knocked up about 5 hours ago.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but I've got some Christmas tools,
Busy one night.
We go
All
all
the
out for
little,
decoration.
all the little hours working overtime.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a fuzzy now. Messing about with it. Again, another thing I picked up a couple of years ago, and it's not changed since.
Oh, right.
Good. Well, we should probably talk about something crypto at least. Uh, I don't have a lot of content to cover today. I thought we'd do a free for all. But one of the most important things that I think is worth having a quick mention on, a quick refresh on, is staying safe on online and in crypto in particular, because this week there's been a sudden rise of the number of scams and phishing attempts against Cardano holders in particular. So, Cardano always prides itself on being a very secure network, and that can lead to people being complacent and thinking that there's no threats here. But the security of the network is a very different thing to the security of the applications, which again is a very different thing from the security of social media and emails that you'll receive and links you'll click and that sort of thing. So there has been successful attempts against people this last week, and people have seen their wallets drained of tokens that aren't ADA in particular. That seems to be a successful one, where people have clicked on links, signed transactions that has actually sucked out the native tokens, native coins and NFTs from their wallets, but left their ADA intact. And so it's harder to spot initially what's gone on. But actually, a lot of people's, if you're particularly spending on native tokens or have collected NFTs from something, that can be a whole load of significant investment on people's parts. But then also there have been transactions signed that have just drained the ADA from your wallet as well, which could be really damaging if you're working with a hot wallet on an app with a significant amount of your holdings in there. So these aren't vulnerabilities in the wallets. These aren't vulnerabilities in the apps or in the network. These are just socially engineered links or transactions, because anything can form a transaction and you can sign any transaction. But it's at that point of signing that you are really responsible for taking precautions over what it is that you are signing, because it's at that point that the transaction will move tokens from your wallet outwards. So yeah, Dinesh, go on.
Yeah, while you're on the security, yesterday or the day before, I signed up to Cornucopia's tier is it Cornucopia's tier 1 or tier 2 what they call it, file node auction.
File node auction. I haven't heard about that actually. So that's not an in-game asset or an in metaverse asset, whatever they call
No,
it.
it's I might be wrong, but it's called file node auction. And there's tier 2 today, starting today. So they've tiered it into different levels of price. Yeah, this is where I went to. Yeah. So what I did was I connected my they asked for different wallet connections. One of them is Nami, but on Nami I've not actually got any ADAs in there. So I connected my Eternal wallet, but then I've thought I've only got within Eternal I've only got one wallet
Okay.
with my some of my ADAs in there. But is it the way you work that you can create multiple wallets, and for different wallets within Eternal, then you can when you go into something like this, you can go, I connect Eternal wallet, but it's a different wallet within that. Is that the way do you normally work?
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I do it.
So does that mean that each time you create a new wallet, there's a new address for that particular wallet?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And that's
So
one
that's
of the
what I
good.
so in fact, sorry to interrupt, but so the way I should be thinking in terms of working is within Eternal have multiple wallets for different purposes. Because sometimes I might want to go on Muslim swap and then buy something or trade something, and then that could be a different wallet within Eternal, as opposed to my staking wallet, which is like a different wallet than as opposed to go on to MinSwap and buy something else, say copy tokens and etc. So is that am I thinking the right sort of way?
Yeah. So the way that I've got mine structured has sort of grown organically over time, but strategically, there's some things that I've tried to do. So yeah, definitely use the features of the wallets that we have available. So if you're not familiar with Eternal Wallet, that's one of the strongest aspects of it, is that you have this ability to have multiple wallets within the one application. So here we can add new wallets whenever we want. In fact, what I'll do is jump over to the pre-prod.
So if I add a new wallet, it'll have its own particular code, private key.
Yeah. So let's create some wallets on our pre-prod. So this is a test net, which you can just switch to down in the bottom right, click that, and you'll get an option of the other networks that we can connect to. So we've got Cardano mainnet, which is where the real asset values are active. Then you've got pre-pod and preview, which are test networks for app developers primarily. And then we've got Guild network, which is another community-based network. That's got special parameters again for developers. And SanchoNet is the governance network. So all of these are Cardano networks. But yeah, for testing purposes, pre-prod or preview are the good ones to use, unless you've got a specific need to use governance features or app developers specific Guild network features. I think Guild network's got things like a rapid epoch cycle. So instead of 5 days, which is normal, they've reduced that down to a day or something. So you can have the time accelerated. So when you're running a staking mechanism or a rewards over a period of 5 epochs, you can actually demo it in 5 days rather than in a month and a half, something like that. Anyway, diverged a bit. So switching to pre-prod, and then we can actually play about with creating wallets. So we can create a wallet, name that anything we want. So this could be your NFTs wallet. And so your NFTs might be things you want to buy and hold. You're not looking to make regular transactions here. You're just going to be sending any of your assets into your NFT wallet and keep it for a long time. Let me get my password generator up as well, because it's going to be simple to keep track of these things. Why does it do this? Start button doesn't work in Windows now. I should have a generator down here. I've got a generator down here that should work a bit more quickly and off screen. And your wallets, you can name them just sensibly according to however you want to organize them. So, for example, you can have an NFTs wallet. You could have a everyday wallet, and that's where you interact with your apps. Or if you've got certain behaviors that you're doing regularly, you could split those up as well. So I will have a min swap wallet that I'll do any liquidity pools or yield farming just from that wallet. Regarding the pools I've got on MinSwap, and then I'll have another one for MusicSwap, so a separate wallet for each of those.
You just as a request on Discord, if you could drop in sort of generic structure, the wallets, different wallets types that you could set it up for, that would be really good. So the ones you mentioned, for example, MinSwap, NFTs, liquidity pool, is that kind of thought process. If you could sometime next week or so,
yeah, certainly
get an idea of how to set up a good structure on in a wallet.
I mean, what tends to happen is that you'll have sort of organic growth of things, use cases that you come up with.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you think about, okay, let's split this off into another feature. But certainly, yeah, those sort of that segregation of things is a really good thing to do. So if we start off with an NFT wallet, And now within Eternal, you can see up on screen now, it's offered you to create sub accounts. So this is actually almost like wallets within wallets. So you could create, for example, three sub accounts here, and these will sit as separate wallets within your wallet. I have never used this feature because it's not standardized across all the wallets, and I like to be able to keep my keep the ability to move across software providers really easily. So if I organize things in a particular way in Eternal, with features that are supported elsewhere, then when I move over, it's going to be complicated in terms of reconstructing my wallets in other applications. So if I wanted to switch from Eternal to Lace Wallet or Vespa Wallet, which are newer ones since Eternal existed, then I just want to be able to keep it as generic as possible. So keeping separate wallets is what I actually do, and have always just create one. But again, you can play with this as you want. There are probably some simplifications you can have by running accounts within wallets. But for me, simple isn't always the best way. So when you create a wallet for the first time, this is a brand new one, so it's going to show my seed phrase on screen. Because this is on the pre-prod and I'm just running this as a demo, I won't be using any real assets in this. I'm not too fussed about it. And it's making you take some precautions over writing down your seed phrase carefully. And of course, wallet security, this is the most important step you can take in any of crypto. Your seed phrase are your bank account details and your signature wrapped up in one. So if somebody has your seed phrase, they can recreate your wallet at any point and sign transactions with it. So they can spend all your assets, they can move their assets into their own wallet, they can do anything you want. So your seed phrase is crucial to keep safe. So make sure it's backed up as well. Write it down on a piece of paper as a very minimum, and have that stored. So if your computer gets stolen, if your house burns down, you've still got a copy of your seed phrase so that you can actually start again on a new computer, on different network connection after the apocalypse. You can actually get hold of your assets again. And so having a physical backup is important, as well as being able to, have multiple locations where that's stored to. So this is particularly crucial for your big holdings. So, over the next year, we're going to see the value of our ADA holdings go up significantly. And so what you may consider now as pocket change in a year's time could become a significant chunk of your investment portfolio. And so make sure that you are taking precautions. You're as conscious, nervous about your seed phrase as you are about your passport or your credit cards or your family jewels. Think about them as something really crucial. So your seed phrase is really important. I've said that enough times yet. Seed phrase, seed phrase, seed phrase, seed phrase. So don't make them public knowledge. Keep it safe. Make sure they're backed up and you can't lose them. And practice restoring your wallet from them every now and then as well. So you can start up a new browser, go to Eternal, install the browser wallet, and then try recreating your wallet from seed phrase. And that way you're doing it on a new browser. You've still got your existing one that works for definite, for sure. Start on a new browser like Chrome or Brave or Firefox or something, and then try restoring your wallet on there. That way you know that you can actually get back access to your funds. Now, one of the important things to think about is if you have a typo in one of these words or the order of them wrong, then you'll struggle to get access to your wallet again. So make sure the order is correct and that the words are written down accurately. If you did have a word in here that was wrong, just swapped out for another one, then the wallet could well still be able to be created by that new seed phrase, but you'll have no assets in it. And so you can have a nasty shock if you recreate your wallet, type in your seed phrase, and then find actually you put a typo in, which was a legitimate potential word in one of these seed phrases, but wasn't your word. And then so you can end up with no asset showing. And that's a scary thing to do. So go back, practice recreating your wallet from your seed phrases, and just, yeah, take precautions to make sure you know what you're doing. And again, don't store a lot in hot wallets like this. Try and use a hardware wallet that's cold storage for the bulk of your holdings, and have those backed up elsewhere. Of course, these hot wallets can be backed up with a hardware wallet as well, which is a really important thing to do if you have that ability. Go on, Dinesh.
Yeah, so that was going to be my second question. Now I've got Tangent wallet, and I've got my ADA on Eternal wallet. How do I set up Tangent wallet, or how do I work with Tangent wallet with Eternal wallet?
So Tangent is a wallet that aspires to be used every day in physical stores, so on and so forth. So you might want to think about how you're storing stuff in there, what you're storing in there. If you decide, okay, Tangent is going to be the one that I carry around if I ever go to a conference, I want to buy things at a crypto conference with your hardware wallet. So you might not put in there your full major holdings, because if you get mugged and someone holds you a knife point to empty your wallet, then you're going to be able to do it because you've got your hardware wallet with you. So even think about security in the physical world as well as digital, and allocate your assets accordingly. So your stay-at-home, you might have a stay-at-home hardware wallet that you put the bulk of your assets into. So that could be your Engrave, for example, or your Trezor, or even your Ledger. Although I'm falling more and more out of love with Ledger all the time. Excuse. And because your Tangent is designed to be used in and around the physical world, then you might not want to have too much on there, but it's going to be a better place to keep it than on a mobile wallet, just on its own. So yeah, take those precautions. Think about your security. With a hardware wallet that you're keeping the bulk of your storage on, then you might have that as a hardware wallet that you interact through Eternal, for example, or Lace or something like that. I'm not sure about the hardware support on all the different wallets, but I do know Eternal supports Trezor, for example, really well. Then that could be something that you never use to interact with a dApp. So you might never use that wallet to make swaps on MinSwap or MuesliSwap or Wing Riders or anything like that. You might choose to never connect it to JPEG Store to buy NFTs. You might decide to keep that purely as an asset store, and the only time you interact with it is by sending stuff into it or by sending stuff out of it, wallet to wallet. And that's a good security measure to take as well, because any wallet that you connect to a dApp can ask you to sign a transaction, and if you're not reading that transaction correctly, that's where these wallet draining attacks happen. So if we've created this NFT wallet, for example, I'm gonna have to, I don't think I can even copy this now, so I would have to write it down. So maybe I won't bother with that. I should do a quick screen grab in case I do need it back again. Oh, and there's quick screen grab on. There's everything's a bit slower out of my normal environment.
Okay, I've taken a screenshot. If you go through, I'll tell you which is which.
Cool. I've got one too now. Oh, has it done it? At the top. Continue. And now it's going to ask me to verify again.
Push.
Okay, yeah, you read it out. That'd be good. Push.
Slam. Acid.
Yeah.
Senior. SENIOR. Senior.
Yeah.
Source.
New. Quick. Leg. Invite. Problems. Ridge. Fail. Net. Turn. Suspect.
You're not keeping up, Dinesh.
I know she's too fast. I give it. Don't interrupt.
Trigger.
Too fast.
Surprise. And actually, one thing that's interesting on these as well is that you only ever actually need to put in the first 4 characters.
Right. I see.
The words never match on more than 4 letters, or yeah, you can put the whole word in so it's actually readable English word, but when you're typing in, you can just be a bit lazy. Now that's
You were definitely faster than me.
that's going to show up my NFT wallet here, and if I take that hidden values off, it'll see that it's got a 0 balance. In my token list, I've got nothing in here at all. My transaction history is empty. So if you're restoring an existing wallet and you see all this empty, empty, empty after 30 seconds or so, then you've probably typed in your seed phrase wrong. So you can go back, start again, take your time, don't panic. And again, this is something to practice on a separate browser from your normal browser where you've got a working wallet. Do it on a different one. So then you know that you've got no conflicts, and you can practice your crypto hygiene procedures in a safe way, knowing that you're not touching your main stuff as of yet.
So,
but of course, you can restore your main wallets in this process as well.
So the question from here on, so now that we've got a second wallet, assuming I've got something in there, and if I want to put my ADA into Tangem, so where do I start? Do I start from Eternal or do I start from Tangem?
So it depends what you're moving from where. So if you've got,
so I've got at the moment, let's say I've got ADA in Eternal. That's the current status quo. And I've got now a brand new Tangem hardware wallet.
Yeah. So your Tangem wallet, let's just say the scenario, this is the wallet I'm now going to use for my walking around money. This is what I'm going to take out to conferences and so on and so forth. So I'm going to put in there what I want to spend at a conference, and that might be 1,000 ADA or something. If you're feeling like splashing out at the end of the next bull cycle, 1,000 ADA is suddenly worth £5,000. You can head out from your home knowing that that's the most that anybody could ever get off you. So you would start in Eternal. You would you'd start in your Tangem wallet. Your receive address from your Tangem.
Right, so that's the process. Okay, so you start with the hardware wallet, receive it, and then.
So your receive address will look something like this: ADDR1, and then a string of letters and numbers. This is a testnet wallet, pre-prod, so it's got test1 in there. And that's going to be the address, the receiving address from your Tangem. We'll look in that same format as well. So then back in Eternal, you would come and create a send transaction.
Right. Okay. Understand the process now. So basically, the process is move your ADA from Eternal wallet onto the hardware wallet. That's the premise, and then the ADA will live on your hardware wallet.
In effect, yes. Now, of course, this is a mental procedure only. Your ADA is not actually on your hardware wallet. Your ADA is not actually in your Eternal wallet.
Yes.
Your ADA is stored on the blockchain.
Right.
And your hardware wallet is a portal into that space on the blockchain.
Right.
Same as the Eternal wallet is a portal into your space on the blockchain. So if you drop your hardware wallet down the drain, if somebody burns your, steals your laptop, if your electricity gets struck by lightning and your hard drive gets fried, this doesn't matter. Your money is still, your ADA is still safe on the blockchain. And that's
Right.
why having a physical copy of your seed phrase is important, because you can then buy a new laptop, buy a new hardware wallet, and restore access to that portion of the blockchain using your seed phrase. So hardware wallets can operate without a seed phrase as well. So they are actually the holder of the private keys, but they will have some kind of recovery mechanism where you can actually restore a new hardware wallet with the same private keys as your existing hardware wallet, or the one that you've just lost. Each hardware wallet has a different mechanism for that, different storage mechanism, and recovery mechanisms. So yeah, I can't really go into those in detail.
That's okay. Understand the mechanism now.
But yeah, that's the procedure. That's the mechanism.
Okay, so then as a next thought process, if I use an Eternal wallet to connect into the fluid pool, and if I then I've now got my ADA onto Tangent, do I need to change anything with the fluid pool connection?
So that's the other thing, is that any wallet that holds ADA can be staked with any stake pool. So you can stake your Tangent, your Eternal, your NFT Eternal, your fungible wallet in Eternal, your MinSwap, your MusiSwap. Any of these wallets can be staked to a stake pool, to fluid pool. So you're earning rewards across all of your wallets, no matter what they look like. The only time you might not want to stake is if you're having a wallet that perhaps will hold some identity information. So this is a little bit of an aside, but probably an interesting thought experiment for you to go in it down as well. So I've just completed a course in Haskell that was run by Emergo Academy. Very good academy, by the way, if you want to get some training in tech. A good guys to look at. And as a graduate of that course, I'm going to be sent a certificate, an NFT certificate, that will actually have my name on it. So it will be a digital asset that will hold my name, and anybody who sees that asset can read the name on it and know that it's mine. Now, if I had that NFT sent into my daily driver wallet, which is staked to Fluid Pool, then anybody who knows I've received that certificate, or anybody who knows that I staked to Fluid Pool, can go in and investigate, find out my wallet, find out what's in my wallets, find out any wallets I've ever interacted with from that staked wallet, and then really start to build up a picture of my personal activity, behaviors, my credentials, if they've got their NFT. And that is then ripe material for identity theft or impersonation or anything like that. So again, you're sort of thinking about, and again, because the blockchain is treat it as eternal storage, so, and publicly readable. So anything you're putting on there in terms of personally identifiable information, you've got to be really careful with. So I don't particularly want my graduate certificate with my name on it attached to my normal wallets, because it's just going to make people tracking my information down much more easily. And in the early days, I was on an Ethereum project and interacting with a decentralized application, and it asked me to register to sign up for this deal, and it asked me for an email address to put in. So I put in my email address, and it was just my normal email address, and didn't really think too much about it. But actually what that smart contract did was take my that registration information and associate it on the Ethereum blockchain in a transaction data, metadata. And so suddenly anybody could go in, decrypt that transaction metadata, and find email addresses, which tracks back to any activity that email address has ever been involved in. So often email addresses are used as logins for social media accounts, for banking details, for anything that can be really significant. And so suddenly that email, and in fact subsequently that email has been involved in a data hack. So that email address and the associated password is now in a publicly known database of stolen passwords and usernames. So anybody who has that email address and that and access to that stolen password database can log in on anything, any of the social media accounts, any of the applications I've ever logged in with those credentials. So obviously I've had to go through a whole password security, password hygiene, resetting the passwords. Anytime I've used that email to log in, I've gone through and found that application, reset it and changed and everything like that. But that's a huge whole load of effort, and chances are I might have forgotten something. So there is risk there, and now particularly as that email address is also associated with some Ethereum blockchain activity, then there could be potential commingling of data, give them access to something that could be a good attack vector if something wants to come after my Ethereum wallet or something like that. So again, think twice about what you're putting into applications in terms of data, in terms of personally identifiable data in particular. So for my graduate wallet, graduate certificate from this course, I actually created a brand new brand new hot wallet on Cardano, gave that receive address to the academy. So when they send the NFT, that they're going to send that into that wallet. And I'm conscientiously not going to stake that wallet with any pool, because that's where tracking the data or the ownership of a wallet becomes more easy on Cardano, because once you've got it staked to a stake pool, then anybody who goes in and investigates that stake pool can find out the wallets on it, see the assets within it, and then start to try and tie that together with any other information they know about that wallet holder. So if you are a Fluid Pool delegate, if you come onto these calls, your name might get shared on a Zoom screenshot or something, because Zoom can show your names on screen. And so then they've got a picture of you, they've got your name, they've got the stake pool you're with, and all this sorts of, it starts to build up a picture that's ripe for harvesters, hackers, social engineering, that sort of thing. And in fact, the scams that have been launched on Cardano are all based around that. So they found out people's social media accounts, so then they've sent them a tweet or airdrop coming soon. People have then gone through to the fake application, clicked a link to sign up for the airdrop, and then that airdrop has created a transaction for them to just sign. And the user interface will say you're going to be paying 2 ADA to have access to this airdrop, whereas in reality you're signing a transaction that's actually harvesting all the money from your account. So let's go over some of the things to do when you are interacting with a dApp again. So actually, while I'm here, I'm just going to send some ADA, some test ADA into my my wallet. So this is again the test net. So I can get some free money just by interacting with this faucet. Request some funds. And that's now going to send some play money into my my wallet. So if we sit here under transactions, keep an eye on it for a minute.
I was reading about the faucet and test data the other day, so I'm going to try that out next week sometime.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is how you do it. This docs.cardano.org/Cardano testnet/tools/faucet will get you into this screen, and then you can just choose your network that you want to send the test data to, preview or pre-prod, and you'll get sent some tokens to play with. So there we go. We just received a transaction that sent some money in from the faucet into the wallet. So this is how a transaction looks like in Eternal. Every wallet will have a different user interface. Some will give you a little bit of information, some will give you a lot. Eternal gives you a lot. And the thing I particularly like about Eternal's user interface on any transaction screen is that it will show you in green any figures around assets that you are receiving into your wallet, and it will show in red any assets that are exiting your wallet on that transaction. So this obviously is a signed transaction that's happened elsewhere, and so that information is relevant to me, but it's not crucial. When it does become crucial is when you are interacting with an application. So let's connect this NFT wallet, switch on the dApp connector. So that's the green plug, and this will let me now start to interact with decentralized applications. And if we go to Muesli Swap, do I know how to switch Muesli Swap into testnet? Not sure that I do. No, washed up there. Let me try min swap. Something I should have done beforehand, probably. No, not sure on this one either. Oh, yeah. No, maybe I'll do a quick search. Oh, actually, what might work is the dApp browser. No, dApps on pre-prod. Okay, I don't maintain that either. No, actually, try that. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find this now. What's a test net that I've used recently? Used a couple actually. I could check on Discord. Hangout.
Is there not the link from the for their main website?
There we go. Genius Shield has one. So let's just see if this is the pre-prod or if it's preview. I think this is pre-prod. So Genius Shield is new DEX. It's on mainnet now, which is very cool. I'll talk about that a bit more. But it is a right wallet. Assuming it must be D. balance, I think. Okay. So let's try a swap. I don't actually have any tokens other than ADA, so maybe this won't be too useful. I doubt I can swap ADA to ADA. Let me try by, so, yeah, 500. Not gonna let me. So this is buying 20 gens token, 19 gens tokens for 500 ADA. This will give you a summary of the transaction from the dApp's perspective. So that's one place to check that everything looks sensible. In terms of feed and anything. Then once you place the order, got to set collateral. So collateral in Cardano is a 5 ADA sitting in the UTXO that the applications will use to make sure they can always create a transaction correctly. It's a bit annoying. Hopefully it'll disappear as a problem. It's not really a problem, but disappear as a feature at some point. So if you haven't interacted with the dApp before, this does need doing. So sorry, I was a bit quick through there. So in your wallet, go into the wallet settings tab in Eternal. Under collateral, drop down to set collateral, and that will create a transaction to put in your put in a new to create a new UTXO with 5 ADA in it. So this is again actually a signing screen. It's probably worth talking about. So this is within Eternal. So this isn't actually being created outside by a dApp or anything. This is actually just within Eternal. And again, the same rules apply. Anything red is leaving your wallet. Anything green is coming into your wallet. So in this transaction, we're spending 0.18 test data, and that's actually the transaction fee for the network. And we're not spending anything more than that. So I can sign this, and that will have created a collateral UTXO in the wallet. Just let that refresh. And if you want to be particularly detailed, you can go into this count and then UTXO list, and you can see on here these unspent transaction outputs that are unique to Cardano, and they take the model from Bitcoin, which uses the UTXO model as well. Ethereum's different, uses a count-based model. Bitcoin and Cardano use this UTXO model. UTXO in Cardano is actually extended over and above Bitcoin's one. That should have completed now. No, still waiting. There we go, on chain. So now that's on chain. We can look under this UTXO list and see we have 2. So actually they've used to put 3 test data into this UTXO one here, this collateral one. And the rest of the balance is sitting in this other UTXO. So these are, these are actually 2 independent addresses on the blockchain. Stop jumping around. But both those addresses are associated with the one Cardano wallet. And having the existence of this with no NFTs in it, no other tokens, means that that can interact with dApps, making sure that, or ensuring we've got forming of transactions correctly within the dApp. If I try placing this order again from Genius Shield, it should now pop up a window that's an eternal window. So I made that bigger for you. So again, this is now a pop-up window. It's been created by the dApp. And so it's important to pay attention whenever you're signing a transaction here, because this isn't a transaction that's been formed by the wallet. This is a transaction that's been crafted by a third party. And in the case of a phishing attempt or a scam or a wallet draining attack, you'll still get this legitimate transaction signing window, but it will have information in here that actually gives you clues as to what's going on. So again, I talked about red and green with an eternal interface. Red is leaving your wallet, green is coming into your wallet. So we can see here that I've actually got 502.7 test ADA leaving my wallet. And I say that green is coming into your wallet, but that's only relevant to the ADA portion of your transaction. So here you can see that actually I'm going to be receiving plus 19.8 gens tokens. But that's not in green, that's just in white, because it's not ADA, it's actually a native token. And you know, actually those 19.8 gens tokens have the same value as 500 ADA, and that's in, you know, real world as well, if we were on mainnet. So you can have, you know, significantly valuable assets drained out your wallets quite easily. So if this was a malicious transaction, then it could be saying something like leaving your wallet 500 ADA, which is what you'd expect. But then underneath it, it could say minus any other Cardano native tokens you've got in your wallet, because the contents of your wallet are readable by the dApp. And you know, anybody can go to pool.pm and see what's inside any wallet. Once they know what's in your wallet, they can actually form transactions that are removing those assets from your wallet, and so they would appear in this summary as a negative number. So here the negative is on the ADA, the test ADA leaving your wallet, which is legitimate. That's what we're swapping for. We're having 500 test ADA leave your wallet, and 19.8 gens tokens will be being received. But actually a malicious transaction could actually add to that list, that summary. And unless you're paying attention, then it could be a white number saying negative of stuff leaving your wallet. Or it could even be a green figure saying ADA leaving your wallet as well. So, sorry, not a green figure, a red figure of ADA leaving your wallet as well. So pay attention to that. Separately, it will have the transaction fees that are going to be charged, and that will always be a negative number, and that's going to the blockchain itself. So in this instance, we're having 0.3 test ADA leave the wallet. And then if you do want to educate yourself and, you know, have a glance at it every time, these are actually the transactions output and input that are formed to create any transaction on the network. So here we can see we've got some inputs, which is on the left side. So into the input addresses is this one, which is actually my wallet address. So which we know holds 10,000 ADA originally. Yeah, why is that saying 5,000? Was that perhaps because we created the collateral transaction? Yeah, so it'll be smaller than the 10,000. So it must have a couple of UTXOs there now. We've also got some reference inputs, which are all to do with smart contracts you're interacting with. So they are part of the Genius Shield mechanism. And then down here, we've got some additional inputs. There's another 5,000 ADA there. There's a 3 ADA, which is a collateral one. And all these inputs are part of the transaction. The outputs are then really important because that's where money is actually ending up. So we've got all these forming inputs, which seems like an awful lot, far too much. We don't want to be all that to the wallet. But if we look at the outputs, this is actually an output back into my wallet address of 19 gens tokens and 9497 test data. So actually we're getting back as change 9,497 test data. That means we've got 500 ADA leaving, and that's going into the gens system. And I'm receiving 19 test gens back again. And the script here is receiving its change of 1,148 gens. So this 1,168 is the input from the gens, and then we have an output of gens 1148 here. And then so the other things to note are these labels in blue tend to be associated with your wallet addresses. So they're the important ones to keep an eye on. See what's leaving, what's entering. So we're getting test data here, 4996. On the output, and 9497 here. So that's collateral output, and this is the actual test data back again. So yes, the change on the collateral. No, that can't be right. That must be in addition, or not in addition, must be part of this final output here. The transaction forming is something even I'm learning about, getting my head around all the time, particularly when it's involving scripts. But yeah, do keep looking at them. You'll learn over time exactly what's going on. But again, the crucial numbers to keep an eye on are these ones in red. That's leaving your wallet. ADA leaving your wallet. Green would be ADA entering your wallet, and then these lines just in white, plus or minus again. These are other native tokens leaving or entering your wallet. So if I sign that transaction, oops, I don't have that. Passwords stored anymore. So
I've got one, Jonathan, if I can just ask a question while you're doing it.
Yep, sure.
I've got in another wallet, Project Catalyst Proposal Assessor Blitz token. Is that worth moving over?
So I guess that's just been sent to you at some point, or did you pick it up from a token distribution somewhere, or?
I think it got sent to me.
Okay. So yeah, it might be in association with participating in Catalyst. I haven't done that portion of it, so I don't know. But yeah, that might. If you have a look at it, I doubt it'll have any personal identifiable information. So it's not. It doesn't matter if it's sitting in your wallet. If you were trying to tidy things up and have maybe an NFT wallet and then a fungible token wallet, like that holds your ADA or your gens or whatnot, then you can maybe move it into an NFT wallet just for your own peace of mind, sanity, OCD. Certainly, that could be a good thing to do. And so yeah, I do that. I try and keep all my NFTs in one wallet, and then I'm slowly moving all the native tokens that I had in that wallet as well out into other wallets. And again, this is just my hot wallet portion of holdings. I've got the bulk of my holdings, bulk of my ADA sitting elsewhere in an air-gapped wallet that never connects to the internet. So back here, let's just try that transaction again because it failed. Don't think the wallet had got kept its connection properly. I'll nip through this time. So we're going to spend 500 test data, or market order, 500 test data. So you get 24. Oh, yeah, 24, I should say. Yeah. Then I've got my sign-in screen. I'm going to have a look at the transaction details. It probably timed out before actually, because these transactions do have a time limit on them. So I'm going to have 502 test data leaving, and I'm going to be receiving 20.13 gens in. I'm going to sign that. Oh no, that's the thing again. Password. Oh, see, this is just on the test net, so I don't know if everything is 100% working. They may be trying out new things. The main net will certainly be all good, but at least it's given us a failed transaction history as well, which is quite good, quite neat. But no clue as to exactly why that failed, so we can't go beyond that point anyway. But that's the principles, and that signing screen is the one that you need to be paying attention to. And so in the people that have had their wallets drained, they weren't paying attention to that signing screen when it popped up. They've just signed it without even looking, and actually underneath here, there'll have been a whole load of information saying that assets are leaving their wallet above and beyond what they're expecting. So here I'm only expecting to be swapping test data for gens tokens. And if there was anything else showing up in here as well, then I'd be very concerned and stop and think. And then until you actually click sign, put in your password and click sign, you haven't done anything wrong. So seeing this screen is not a bad thing yet. It's just showing you more information. And so you're still safe up to that point. But do have a pause at that screen every time. Whenever you're signing something, using your spending passphrase, it's important to stop and think. Everybody confident?
Jonathan, sorry. So sign-in comes even though both scenario, when you have money coming in, also going out. Both scenario, do we have sign-in?
If someone's sending you, then no, you don't have to sign anything because it will just turn up in your wallet. So for example, when I did that testnet faucet, I wasn't signing anything on this page or anything like that, was I? I was just I did not find it this time. Did last time. There we go. So here I was just interacting with a web page, really. I just put in pre-prod, I put in my receive address because that's where I wanted to receive the tokens, but I never got prompted to sign anything or anything like that. And it's not going to let me do it now because I'm out of allocation for the day. But rate limit exceeded, so I have to try. I can go and get 10,000 test data every day, but not more than that. But yeah, so I never signed anything on this screen. But still, I ended up seeing this transaction turn up in the wallet. This one here, received funds. And so I didn't see a pop-up window to see this window. It just turned up in my transaction history. So anytime you receive funds, you'll never have to sign anything. It's only when you're actually doing a transfer within your wallet or interaction with a DApp. So I did want another transaction from playing with Genie Shield to show up here, but it's not turned up because the transaction failed, obviously. But you can always go back and check out what's going on in his past transactions, just to see, whether you've done something stupid or not. Hindsight is a painful thing sometimes, but here I just know that I've spent 0.18 ADA, which is the transaction fee, to do an internal transaction, and that was when I set up my collateral. So I had 10,000. I had my 10,000 ADA note, and then I got back change in the form of 3 test ADA plus 4996 test ADA plus 2498 and 1249 and 1249. Which again, all adds up to the 10,000. So the change I got back all adds up to that 10,000 there. Is that making sense for everyone? Any more questions? Anybody feeling confident enough to go and play with a DApp?
So basically, summary is, Jonathan, whenever the money going out with the rates signed, then we just need to pay attention to it. There's a whole lot of money going, ADA going out, then issues like more drill through and just make sure it's correct or not, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So anytime you get up that screen to sign something, then stop and think. Read it. So that's this one here. Whenever you see this, pause, expand it out, and then start to have a read. So this is minus, that's leaving my account. This is a plus, this is coming into my account. But if there's anything in here that says minus, that's unexpected, don't sign it. Try to figure out what's going on. You can cancel, you can close the window, and nothing will have been spent. And that's the steps, the mental process you need to take each time you see this signing window. Everybody good?
Yep.
Cool.
100%.
I think that's worth doing every now and then, just making sure we're understanding the user interface, any changes on it come about, as it updates over time. It's worth keeping an eye on, and we'll go back over that as and when needed. And anytime anyone has a question or anything like that, then do come and shout. And there are learning, going through these steps can be painful, but ultimately this is because there are huge rewards on the other end of it. So they are worth making that effort, and those rewards are more than just monetary. I'm talking 10 years down the road, we'll be carrying out significant portions of our financial transactions on the blockchain, I believe, digital currencies, and also identity information and so on and so forth. So I can receive an NFT certificate from Emogo Academy into a wallet, and it's good that I understand and playing that now when it's not so crucial, as this sort of information starts to grow. When I end up receiving my passport, my driving license sent into my government wallet, then I need to have practiced all these skills in advance, so I know exactly how to keep my data safe, my money safe. And so all these baby steps we're taking now, they are setting you up for the future, as I see it. So worth going through the pain now at a small scale, so you can benefit at a large, important scale down the road. And you'll become a valuable asset amongst all your friends and peers as well, because they won't have been trying it for the past, been playing with these things, this technology for 5 years. They'll come in at the end when they've got the polished user interface and won't really know what's going on under the hood. And your additional knowledge will save your bacon at some point. I'm very confident of it. So worth doing this. Good. I'm going to jump into a couple of the little bits I wanted to talk about today. In fact, one of them is a good follow-up if you want to do any more, particularly sort of due diligence on what's going on in terms of scams and wallet draining attacks in the ecosystem. There is a particularly, I haven't watched the video yet, but there's a particularly good YouTuber, Peter Bowie from Ada Oz. Is that his pools? Oh dear, I can't remember. But anyway, he does Learn Cardano. He's got really good YouTube channel reference in the past. And a really good communicator as well. So you can go and watch this video. I'll drop it into the Discord links afterwards, and he goes through exactly how these attacks have been perpetrated and how much has been lost and so on and so forth. He also covers a whole lot of other topics that are really good, but this initial section here, 3 minutes in, well worth a watch. Up to 7 minutes in, that covers a couple of attacks that have been perpetrated on Cardano recently. And it's, the technology is robust and secure. It's also all about social engineering. This is the same way that old ladies get scammed on
Okay, here we go.
Into handing over bank transactions, check fraud. These schemes have existed for as long as cash has existed, and they're all these hacks and attempts and data thefts. Those techniques are just as applicable within the crypto space, within Cardano, within Bitcoin, Ethereum, as they are in the real world. So, humans are the weakest part of any chain, and so you need to work on yourself, work on your knowledge to be able to withstand them all. And they've got very intelligent people working really hard to get your hands on your money. So, the more time you spend learning, equipping yourself, the better. So I'll drop that link into the Discord so you can have a catch up afterwards. So now, one of the things that we'll benefit on, where it is worth, we talked about not staking that certificate wallet, but also staking your Tangem, your hardware wallets, your Eternal wallets, and because you have that opportunity to earn from it. One of the benefits of participating in the staking side of things is that you are getting interest, about 3.5% at the moment, APR. You're also getting the opportunity to earn additional tokens, and so at the moment we are participants in the Coinector ISPO. Coinector are a project that are launching on Cardano. They were developers in the Ergo ecosystem before. They have Ergo Pad and Paideia as part of their tools that they've delivered. They're now building out Coinector on Cardano, and Coinector will be a launch pad for new tokens. So they're going to be working particularly in the due diligence space on projects. So when you come and use their launch pad to check out new tokens as they launch, so Genius Yield have also got a launch pad and an incubator program called Genius X. We've got A Starter. They're creating a launch pad as well, and we've had other launch pads existing already, but Coinector is going to be a new one on the space, and they will be working with the Cerberus team, which are a particularly good due diligence team. They do Cardano blockchain interrogations, analysis, metric tracking, and stats analysis, so they can see where exploits have been executed or where the successor projects have gone, where rug pulls have happened. They'll do post-event analysis and also assessments on projects before they launch. And so those metrics and those parameters are going to be brought in to the Coinector Launchpad user interface. So when you are looking at tokens to buy into token launches, then actually get a whole lot of useful information about that project, and a trust figure, basically a trust score for those projects. They're going to have their own mechanism as well for rating projects, and I talked to them in a call, and they were going to be open to bringing in or working or talking to other due diligence projects on, like we've talked about in the past. ScatDAO is one that I've referenced in these calls a few times, and that's a sort of community-based Cardano due diligence project where anybody can contribute their due diligence reports to ScatDAO. Find the project now. Cardano. So they have this do your own research tool that you can go in and community members can launch it, submit their evaluations of any project, and then we get back this score on projects. So when a token launches, you can see whether it's worth you buying or swapping some of your ADA for some of these new tokens. And that's where, in the next bull cycle, we're going to have Cardano maybe 6 times its current or its lowest value, or anywhere up to 30 times, who knows. But these small cap tokens, they will be the ones that can maybe do 100x, 800. I've seen one project launch. In fact, it's a CNCT token. So the token we're going to be earning through this ISPO is the CNCT token from CoinEctor. They launched their token, and they are a launchpad specialist company. So they have launched their own token on their own platform first, and we can see the performance of that token on TapTools. It launched at 0.007 ADA per CNCT, and they've hit a high already of 0.12, 0.13. So that's 8 times, 800% price appreciation from launch, which was only on the 1st of December. And even now we're sitting at 0.087, which is about 6x. So their token's doing really well. We're going to get hold of them for free just by being delegators to Fluid Pool. So it's worth keeping an eye on the project. And having been in a call with them, they said that they'll be open to integrating perhaps this tool onto their launchpad down the road as well. So open to collaborating with the community, which is great to see. And also, they're eating their own dog food. They're launching their tokens from their own platform, and they're proved now that they can launch tokens without seeing the dump afterwards that you normally get. Of course, a lot of that's to do with timing, and markets are emotion driven as opposed to purely technical. But having good tokenomics, using your marketing methods to launch a token and make sure it does well from the get-go are important factors in being successful. So that's good to see. And yeah, one thing you can do as well is any of you now can go into here, take the address from your wallet, the receive address from your wallet. So come into Eternal, grab the receive address. You don't have to use the sign in button. You can just type your receive address into here, and then it will tell you how many CNCT tokens you're due to get from this ISPO. This is a tiny wallet, so I'm only getting 5 CNCT. But then, I know that 5 CNCT will be worth a few ADA, or 1 ADA or something at this point in time. And hopefully this price will appreciate even more over time. And that figure, the number of ADA CNCT I'll be collecting for free, will grow. And of course, my bigger wallets will be getting more CNCT. So any of your wallets that you've got delegated to Fluid Pool, you can go and check the balance of CNCT you'll be getting.
Sorry, Jonathan, are you saying you'll be getting it, or are you going to get it? Like, if you submit it, do I get it straight away, or do I need to wait?
No, so this isn't the way to collect them yet. This is just a way to calculate what your rewards will be. So you can put your receive address in there, find out how many CNC token you'll be getting. There'll be another page which they haven't launched yet, where when we hit epoch 463, which is when the ISPO ends, then we can go and collect the tokens. So epoch 463 is going to be on 463. It's going to be January sometime. January 25th. is the why have I got this up here? January 25th is a start of Epoch 463, so it'll probably actually be at the end of 463. So we'll be able to collect them from the end of January, start of February. And yeah, there'll be a new page that we'll go to collect them. I did wonder if it was going to be this redeem page, but I asked and they said no. So there'll be a brand new page coming up. And then we'll go in and connect our wallets and receive the tokens into it. Same as we do for Toasty Drop or Smart Claims or Drip Drops in the past. Cool, so that's Coinector. Any questions around that? More questions around that? Yeah, just a couple more things about CNCT token. So again, as part of their activity for launching tokens, they're working hard on getting listed. So they're listed on Tap Tools, as you saw. They've also now got themselves listed on CoinGecko, which is a chain agnostic platform. So Bitcoin, Ethereum projects are all listed on here as well. But now we have some Cardano native tokens starting to be listed, which is very cool. So Coinector have got themselves listed. And their price action now will be tracked and their charts will be tracked on a big public blockchain explorer, which is great to see. Actually, that token price. No, can't see this. CNC. Anyway, there we go. That page is there. You can go and explore it. This doesn't look like it does for me normally. I seem to be in German or something. Because I'm on Windows. Windows is weird on me. Good. And then the other thing, the other platform they got listed on is Cherryland, which is a Cardano lending borrowing platform. So here you can come in if you've got some ADA, got some ADA and you want to borrow some gens tokens or anything like that, or even NFTs, then you can put your ADA up as collateral or put some NFTs up as collateral and borrow ADA or other tokens on this platform. I haven't talked about this platform before because I only found out about it yesterday. But CNCT have got their token listed on this platform already. So I can't actually find any lends or borrows using them yet, but they are an approved asset to be used within lending and borrowing on Cherryland, which means that again they're just being adopted into the community. Other projects are picking up on their token already, and they've only been launched since the 1st of December. So they are being active in terms of working those business relationships, those partnerships to make sure that they have a successful token, which is cool. So that's CoinGecko and Cherryland, yes. So the last bit of news I wanted to point you to is Cardano 360, which is the media team from IOHK. They have their I think they do it sort of monthly, quarterly. They'll have a big video that goes through to a load of people in the community or in partner projects and highlighting some of the things. And so here they've got their 360, which is their end of 2023 roundup. They talk to some really interesting people. Aiken is a new language that's been developed by community members that rivals Plutus, which is the IOG language that's used to compile hard smart contracts on Cardano. Aiken is an alternative that can actually do smart contracts on Cardano as well, and it's proving to be much easier to develop with in terms of easier to understand, as in it's more similar to other languages. Haskell and Plutus are very different to typical languages, so if you haven't coded with them before, it's quite a challenge to get into it. Aiken is also proving to be faster than Plutus. Some implementations of smart contracts on Plutus. So Sunday Swap in one of the teams that rebuilt some of their tech on Aiken rather than on Haskell Plutus, and they found that if they'd done it for launch, excuse me, which is when they had a whole load of blockchain congestion, the Sunday Swap token launch or platform launch brought the chain to its knees. That was a couple of years ago. Things have moved on drastically since then. But if they had their apps built in Aiken, then they would have had something like 20 times the transaction volume, handling capacity, and speed, which is a significant improvement. So Aiken's a powerful language. It's going to be picked up more and more throughout the years. I was in a call with Sebastian Nagel yesterday, the ISPO stake pool operator call, having a little Christmas party. He's working on Hydra. Hydra is a layer 2 solution for Cardano. So we'll be seeing stuff being built on that over the next couple of years as well. And it sort of works like a super optimized, small participant side chain on Cardano, but then uses Cardano's mainnet to resolve its position. So if we wanted to run, say we wanted to run a little game between us, a poker game or something, just with us 5 participants, we could jump off to a smart contract, run game on a Hydra head, and so we'd each put in, say, 500 ADA into that head, and we know that out of that head, when it resolves back to the main chain, there'll be the same amount of ADA. So 2,500 ADA will come back out of it if 2,500 goes in. But whose owns that ADA and which wallets it goes to could be determined by that Hydra head. So if we were running, say, a poker game on that head, then the payouts at the end of it would be, all go to Dinesh because he's the best poker player or something like that. And that would be, done sort of off chain in a really rapid, low fee environment. And that's the sort of usability that we can get from Hydra heads. We've got Mickey Watkins from World Mobile again, real world projects building on, building hardware, putting up aerials and aerostats, big blimps carrying mobile network equipment in Africa and in the US. So really growing into a global mobile platform. And then some highlights on some of the conferences that happened towards the end of the year. Also an update on Atala Prism, which I haven't listened to yet, which I'm curious to hear about, which is the identity solution being built on Cardano. So yeah, that video, if you want a roundup of the year to have an idea on what projects are looking good, which ones are standing the test of time. Always interesting to do. So this guy here on the thumbnail, that's Zygo from Optim Finance, which is a project I've talked about a lot. They're the guys that did the $1 million ADA loan for Fluid Pool. Fascinating guy to listen to, really intelligent and opinionated, so entertaining with it. But yeah, you can catch up on that video in your own time if you want to get more of Cardano than I've covered today, which have been quite hands-on today, which I like to do every now and then. So that's all the topics I had to cover. Any questions anybody's got? Anything you're working on? Anything you want to pipe up about? Go on, Dinesh.
Yeah, I received an email from Input Output. It's about Cardano Learning Academy. I think they're offering some kind of a learning course on blockchain.
Is that from Cardano Foundation? The
called Cardano Academy.
Cardano blockchain certificate or something certified. They have. I know that they've just revamped their course. Is it this one?
That's the one.
Cool. Yeah. So I went through the first cohort of that. That was the one we did together, wasn't it? I think.
Yes. Yeah. So this is This is like the follow-up the further development of what's been happening. And there's
Yeah.
a first step. This is like the second step now, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've
they've got
signed up
some,
to that, so I'm not started to learn yet, but I've started. That's something useful people might want to get into.
definitely. That's a good shout.
Could you send a link, please, and maybe in Discord us link
Yeah,
to
I'll,
this.
I'll certainly drop it into Discord. I'll drop it here now as well if you want to jump in and have a look. There's my chat screen. No, I've lost my toolbar entirely now. Yeah, no, participants. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try. I'll drop it into Discord.
I just want to say while I can,